Hi everyone, I'm Kris Lowe, the Research Coordinator for the PD-GWSS Board, and I wanted to share just a few comments today about the board, highlighting our mission to fund important research for the California wine industry as it relates to combating pest and disease challenges. So here is where and why we started, back in the late 90s. In response to the destruction in Temecula, the California wine grape growers passed the PD-GWSS referendum to establish an annual value-based assessment on wine grapes that funds research and related activities for designated pests and diseases. Established along with this referendum was the PD-GWSS Board, a joint wine grape grower, government-funded board that advises the CDFA on the use of PD-GWSS assessment funds. And the mission of the board is to ensure that the industry dollars are spent wisely and productively to find solutions to our pest and disease issues. The current assessment rate is set at $1.25, and historically the average has been about $1.35 per $1,000 of value since 2001. The assessment on crushed grapes is collected by the Ag Statistics Office, which keeps proprietary price and harvest information confidential and current. And this money is from and for the industry, funding research projects and outreach efforts related to Pierce's disease, glassy-winged sharpshooter, and other board-designated pests and diseases. There's been just over $83 million collected over the past 22 years, which funds research and other activities, including rapid response treatments for high glassy-winged sharpshooter pressure nurseries and urban areas, such as some of the funding for the glassy-winged sharpshooter eradication project in Vacaville. And while the origin of the board was on PD and its vectors, and no one is taking their eye off the ball on that problem, the board has adapted over the years, expanding its research program to include work on other pests and pathogens. So today, our request for proposals covers research on all of these designated pests and diseases of wine grapes, current and future, with a spotted lanternfly here, serious problems for the industry. Our funding process is critical and thorough. It involves reviews by a scientific committee, as well as a more industry-based research screening committee, before these recommendations are brought to the board and ultimately to the Secretary of Agriculture for funding. And new this year, we're embarking on a collaboration with the National Academy of Sciences to get some high-level expertise from scientists across the country on how our research funding program can improve and expand to combat grapevine viruses in particular. Since 2001, the board has allocated about $55 million to research, the largest portion of which has gone to work on Pierce's disease and glassy-winged sharpshooters. But we've also allocated these funding resources to other pests and diseases, field trials, economic studies, insecticide studies, and tissue culture and transformation work. And currently our research portfolio includes 45 projects and is pretty evenly distributed between Pierce's disease and its vectors, and work on viruses and their vectors, including some cutting-edge science on gene editing that we hope will open up even more options for sustainable and durable pest and disease control in the future. And you can find all this information and more on our website listed here, including research reports, symposium proceedings, and more outreach material.